Welcome to This Explainer. Every time we sign up for a new app, buy something online, or just join a forum, we're leaving behind a digital footprint. We hand over our info and hope for the best. But what actually happens when the companies holding our data fail to protect it? Well, today we're tackling a topic that brings a very real sense of anxiety to pretty much anyone who uses the internet: digital privacy and data leaks. Which brings us to the big, uncomfortable question on every internet user's mind right now. Have you been hacked? Seriously, has your personal, highly sensitive information been leaked to the dark web without you even realizing it? Well, before you confidently say, "No way," you might want to look at the hard data. Because according to security researchers at F-Secure, the average consumer currently has 229 stolen data records tied to their identity, just floating around on the dark web. That's a massive scale of threat. It means that even if you practice absolutely perfect security on your own devices, your data is likely already out there, simply because of vulnerabilities in the platforms and services you use every day. But hey, don't panic. Today, we're going to demystify all of this with a straightforward 5-step survival guide. We'll cover 1. The threat of data breaches, 2. How to check your email, 3. Understanding your breach results, 4. Immediate steps to take, and 5. How to prevent future hacks. Let's jump right into Section 1, the threat of data breaches. To fight the problem, we really need to understand what we're up against. So what exactly is a data breach? Simply put, it happens when a hacker gets unauthorized access to a database full of users' private information. It's literally like a criminal finding an unlocked door or an open window in a massive corporate building. They slip right in and steal or copy as much personal information as they possibly can. Usernames, passwords, addresses, payment details, the whole shebang. The really crucial point here is that a breach is a systemic reality. It's an attack on the website or the service itself, not your computer. Getting caught up in a breach is absolutely not a personal failure on your part. And just to give you an idea of how widespread these unlocked doors really are, let's look at some staggering real-world examples. Just in recent years, we've seen 171 million accounts breached from the social network VK. And more recently, 54 million email addresses and millions of credit cards were exposed in a breach of the retailer Hot Topic. In fact, platforms that actually track these leaks have indexed over 17.5 billion compromised accounts globally. That's billion with a B. Honestly, the security platform, Exposed or Not, hit the nail on the head with this quote. The question isn't if you've been breached, it's how many times. It's chilling, right? But it completely shifts our mindset. We have to move away from thinking if it happens to when it happens. And that means we need to get proactive. Okay, moving on to Section 2, how to check your email. Let's look at how you can actively check your own digital exposure using some verified, safe tools. Now, you might be wondering, why are we focusing so much on just an email address? Well, because your email is basically the master key connecting all the scattered fragments of your digital life. As security researchers point out, your forgotten form account from 10 years ago and your current high-security bank login sit in the exact same pile for hackers. They're all joined by that one single email address. By searching that single address, you can uncover exactly what a hacker sees. So, how do we do this safely? There are several fantastic tools out there to verify your exposure. It's incredibly simple. You just visit one of these sites, type your email into the search bar, and they securely scan known breach databases to generate a report. Have I Been Pawned is probably the most famous. It's super fast, highly trusted, and searches over 17 billion records. But if you prefer a more guided experience that kind of holds your hand through the fix, Mozilla Monitor is fantastic. Databreach.com goes a bit deeper, allowing for expanded searches like phone numbers and physical addresses. Exposed or Not offers excellent free real-time alerts, while Avast HackCheck gives a very straightforward, beginner-friendly report. Really, just pick the one that suits your comfort level, type in your email, and let the tool do all the heavy lifting. All right, you've hit search. Now for Section 3, understanding your breach results. It's time to interpret that report without panicking. When that report pops up, the reality of what actually gets leaked is usually much broader than people expect. According to Exposed or Not's massive database, only a tiny fraction of breaches expose just an email address. A whopping 75% of breaches actually pair your email with 3 or more other types of sensitive data. So when you look at your own breach report, it's going to show you exactly which fragments of your data were exposed alongside your email. We're talking about passwords, of course, but it can also extend to social security numbers, IP addresses, phone numbers, personal health information, and even vehicle identification numbers. Hackers take these fragments and piece them together like a giant puzzle to create a highly credible profile of you. And they use that profile to launch targeted phishing attacks or commit financial fraud. Knowing exactly what was leaked dictates exactly how you need to respond. Which brings us right to Section 4, immediate steps to take. We're transitioning from understanding the problem into a fast, actionable triage plan. If your email gets flagged, you need to stop those hackers in their tracks. Your absolute first priority is stopping what security architects call lateral account takeovers. Basically, hackers use automated tools to take the single password exposed in a breach and rapidly test it across hundreds of other websites, like your bank, your social media, your work email. This technique is called credential stuffing. If you reuse passwords, a breach on some random forgotten gaming forum can lead directly to your bank account being completely drained. So here is your immediate 4-step triage plan. Step 1, log into the compromised service right now and change your password to something long, strong, and entirely unique. Step 2, and this is absolutely vital, if you use that same exposed password anywhere else, go change it there immediately. Step 3, enable two-factor authentication or 2FA on every single account that offers it, especially your main email, because even if a hacker has your password, 2FA stops them cold. And finally, Step 4, actively monitor your financial and online accounts for any suspicious activity, weird password reset requests, or unrecognized logins. All right, now that the immediate fire is out, let's look at Section 5, how to prevent future hacks. We need to make sure we don't end up in this highly vulnerable situation ever again. Let's talk long-term prevention. The absolute best defense against the inevitability of future data breaches is completely changing how you manage your credentials. The old way, reusing the same password, or maybe just slight variations of it across multiple sites, is exactly what makes these breaches so dangerous in the first place. The new way, using a dedicated password manager like 1Password or Bitwarden. These tools automatically generate, securely store, and autofill complex, completely unique passwords for every single website you use. That way, if one site gets breached, only that specific, isolated password is exposed, and the rest of your accounts remain completely safe. It's a real game changer. Beyond just passwords, you've really got to adopt some secure browsing habits to shrink your overall digital footprint. Cybersecurity engineering firms highly recommend using privacy-focused browsers like Brave or Firefox, which block sneaky trackers, or turning on Microsoft Edge's Smart Screen to block phishing sites. Also, follow the advice from CISA, that's the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and disable any unnecessary browser plugins that hackers could exploit. On top of that, always use a VPN when you're connecting to public, unsecured Wi-Fi. And please always keep your software and operating systems updated to patch those known vulnerabilities. Now, just a quick professional disclaimer before we wrap up. While this explainer is packed with valuable, actionable guidance based on expert sources, it definitely doesn't substitute professional cybersecurity services. If you suspect you're the victim of severe identity theft, or if you're dealing with a complex organizational breach at work, please make sure you consult with professional cybersecurity and legal experts for personalized help. Look, data breaches are just a reality of modern life, but being a victim absolutely doesn't have to be. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Which of your forgotten online accounts is currently leaving your front door wide open? Don't wait to find out the hard way. Go use one of the free checkers we talked about today. Secure your digital footprint and take back control of your privacy.